Hi, today we will be discussing with the parents why and how your children are participating in civics in the early childhood classroom and how this is a vital piece of learning for your students and one that they've probably already begun before they even entered our classroom. But before I do that, I'd like to start with a quote from John F. Kennedy that says, "Ask not what your country can do for you, but rather what you can do for your country." Now, obviously, this is a concept that is far too involved for an early childhood student, your child, to comprehend. But in essence, it's what we are trying to achieve in our classroom, and we hope to do this over time throughout the year. The greatest qualities that we are trying to instill and develop in your child at this level are the qualities that are going to create a well-rounded, participatory member of our society. The qualities that will create a sense of belonging and unity to something greater than the individual. The good of all will be considered and contemplated with each decision that affects our classroom. Yes, this is the type of critical thinking and participatory skills that begin here at the early education level. In fact, as I've stated prior, these skills have already probably started in your own home before your student even began school. But as a class, we will work together to create the knowledge, the skills, the values, and the involvement necessary to develop a student who is aware of their own and others' rights and the responsibilities that the individual has as a part of the common good, the laws, the fairness, and to understand and realize that there are multiple perspectives to all issues. In our classroom, your student will and does participate in the voting process, and through this gains an understanding of how people can change and create decisions, rules, and regulations, and that they have control over their own lives. And this is something that we really want to emphasize to all the students and to your child, is that they have control over their own lives. They have control over the decisions that they make today. They will have control over the decisions they make tomorrow. But that their decisions also affect others, and initially they'll just affect themselves, their family, but then it will affect their peers, the community, and the world as a whole. By participating in the classroom government, your student will not only be responsible for themselves, but will also be involved in conflict resolution, negotiations, coalitions, and consensus of the group. All students, regardless of developmental level or abilities, are an integral part of our classroom government. All students benefit as they develop empathy, a sense of social responsibility, and consideration of others. Often in an early childhood classroom, this type of learning is not explicit or direct, but rather is indirect and learned over time. The direct learning for your child will be in learning the symbols of our country and a basic understanding of who and what the president is. As children have a very strong emotional attachment to the president, it is an opportune time to discuss how the president does and keep us and our country safe and secure. What you can be doing at home, as I stated earlier, doesn't need to be overly involved or made a separate issue, but is a part of your everyday life probably already, but can just be a part of your everyday routine with your child. At home, you could possibly include your student in on decisions, such as what they would like for dinner, and give them a choice of two things. This can be made even more simple by asking them what they want to wear, what outfit, and give them, again, a choice of two things. It doesn't need to be overwhelming, but just very simple steps such as that. There are non-negotiables as well, and your children will need to realize that. Rules that you probably have are things like that they have to be in their car seats. They have to wear helmets if they're riding a bicycle. They have to hold your hand if they're crossing a street. These are things that you might make mention of, that these are rules and laws of the society and that we need to follow them for the greater good. Whereas they do have choices that affect just themselves, and things such as choosing their outfit or what they would like for dinner is one way to show them very simply that they do have a choice. Also, community involvement. You could do it simply by being involved in a garage sale with the proceeds going to a charity that you want to support. Or it could be in something as simple as a beach cleanup, Whatever it is, help your child to be a positive member of our society who's proud to uphold the rights and standards that have been enacted in our country. Thank you.